What is up, everybody? It is Og here, back with another video, and in today's video, it's the next installment of the post-AOE cap dungeon grinds. In this series, I'm basically taking you guys through all of the normal dungeons we'd be grinding to level up our alts and AOE farm and things like that with the AOE cap implemented. So if you guys didn't know, the AOE cap basically will hit the live servers in 1 day on pre-patch, and so I want to basically show how I would still do all these farms post that AOE cap going live. So this is the RFC installment. Now the RFC pool used to be a very simple one pool. Took about 5 minutes and everything like that. And to be honest, it actually is still pretty much the exact same thing. The only difference is that you're going to be blizzarding a little bit earlier, and outside of that, it's going to be the same kind of pool. So let's back up just a little bit here. You run into the instance, your alts and everything like that, if you want to get them XP, just come down this little corridor to the right as you pull these mobs. So you pull these first mobs, they just run down this little pathway to the end of the pathway. Run in here, Arcane Explosion to group up all the mobs and everything like that. In the next room, there's basically 3 rooms. There's the straight ahead, the down to the left, and the down to the right. And so what you want to do is you want to jump up onto this ledge over here on the right to pull the 2 other rooms or 2 other hallways. So here we jump up on the ledge. Might take a couple tries, it's all right. Rank 1 fireball, rank 1 fireball. And then because of the AoE cap, I want as few mobs as possible in the kill phase. So I just go ahead and take care of these mobs really quick with a quick, flame strike, cone of cold, or just cone of cold kind of shatter damage. So then we keep on moving here. I like to counterspell any mob that doesn't get pulled down below. You can always get them on the way back if you need to, but it just makes it a little bit easier to grab them in the first place. Arcane Explosion and round up all these mobs. Now the mobs themselves, they don't do much damage here at all. Obviously they're level 14s and everything like that. You can tank a lot of them, but there are some mobs later that do stun. And so you want to make sure that you kind of take your time to stack the mobs as much as possible. So what I like to do here, because we just grabbed all those mobs in all those different areas, is just pop a little rank 1 blizzard right here and just let the back mobs catch up to the front mobs a little bit. You can see them still trickling in through behind. So this just helps a little bit with trying to get the mobs stacked up. You can see that our blizzard's damage is decreasing, which is that AoE cap coming into play. From here, as we come around the side, you want to target the rock elemental that's going to be up on the top straight ahead, and you want to target them as soon as possible, and then you want to spam counterspell. And so you want to run around the side and spam counterspell, sometimes shimmy around the back of the stalagmite. Sometimes it's not very easy to pull him, but eventually you will get him pulled. He'll aggro a couple mobs as he comes down. In the event that you can't get him pulled for whatever reason, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal at the end of the day. You can still keep on cruising through the rest of the mobs and you'll be perfectly fine. Now that we have all those mobs, we're going to keep on looping through here. I recommend taking this exact path so we go out and then we cut back over, and then we'll loop back later and get those last mobs. The reason why we do this is basically to stack the mobs on their own. So here we're going around this far left side, and the mobs that are way in the back are going to cut across the middle, and they almost just stack themselves. So you can see we're now having 2 corridors of mobs coming through. And now we keep on moving forward here. You can aggro all the bosses. They won't reset, so it's perfectly fine to aggro them. They aren't going to mess with you too much. The only thing you have to worry about is that little knockup and then also the stuns. That's later on though. You should stay ahead of the mobs at all times, even without Zanza. If you want to make it really easy, pick up a Zanza before you do it, and you'll be able to fly through these dungeons. There are 4 or 5 quests in this dungeon, so the tunes themselves, if they want to come get the items from the bosses and things like that, definitely just have them come through to the kill spot. It's a quick run. Pick up the quest loot, and then you can actually get the last mob right below as well for the last quest item. Once you grab all those mobs though, up on the top, you're going to jump down Arcane Explosion to pull these last few groups. And then we're going to loop around here, and now we're focusing on getting these mobs as stacked as possible. The difference between the old strategy and the new strategy is that our blizzard's going to do a lot less damage to them in the kill phase, so we can't just, take them to the old kill spot and just roll through them very easily. Instead, what we have to do is we have to focus kind of on getting them stacked up a little bit here. And so you can see me doing the blizzard here, just looking forward to get these mobs stacked. As I move forward, some of the mobs are going to cut across and things like that. And we're just focusing on stacking the mobs. Grab these last few stragglers. Watch out for the pad as well. If your alts that are in the group or your friends that are in the group are running through, make sure you're watching out for the pads to make sure that they don't pull them. And then we cut across here, and you can see we have the group on the right, the group on the left, and they're all going to converge on this one spot. Now the mobs are really close to me here. Hopefully they're not as close to you when you're going through, but just go ahead, and try to keep them slow to wait for the blink before you go for your first blizzard. So here I'm waiting for the blink, I get the blink, and then I go for my first blizzard. We're gonna get a couple ticks. I'm using max strength blizzard because we're gonna get fed back mana anyways, but I wanna use max strength blizzard to try to kill as many of the mobs as possible. As you can see on that first tick of blizzard, a lot of the mobs haven't caught up to me yet, and so the first tick of blizzard is only hitting some of the mobs and it's damaging them for a decent bit. So we're able to slowly kind of war attrition, take down these mobs running around this ledge, whereas previously we would have had to just go to the side. But you can see them starting to die in the back. We're going to blink down here. We're going to try to get a good blizzard off here. The mobs run straight through, or at least one mob ran straight through for some reason. So at this point, I decide that I'm going to try to do this Arcane Explosion thing. I don't recommend this. Just go to the next spot, skip this Arcane Explosion thing. It's not going to be a good time because you're going to get stunned like that. So I have to block and cancel or the block, get punted up in the air. So things almost start going south, but I just recommend jumping off right here, and then you could just get this blizzard as they come around the side. Once they come around the side, it's pretty simple from there. You have most of the mobs dead by now. You can take out the rest with just some last blizzards or blink across and then Nova and Cone of Cold and everything like that. So as you can see, you could still take out all the mobs the exact kind of same way, still with blizzard. The only difference is that you're going to be focusing on doing a lot of the damage and keeping them controlled as they go around the side. Still only takes 5 minutes. It'll take you about 1.5 minutes to run out or something like that. So you can easily get in, those 5 runs in an hour in the 30-minute period and then be locked for 30 minutes and go do something else. So definitely still a very, very efficient, quick grind to level up your alts. In the event that your alt does need the quest for the shaman down below, I recommend just coming around the side, jumping over to the right, which I'm about to do right here, and then killing that boss as well, and they can run up and loot the satchel or whatever it is that they have to do for that quest. Like I said though, RFC, very, very simple and easy. You could start doing it at level 8, fly through it until about level 16, and then I'd probably head over to something like SFK from there. As far as the talents go, you can really mess around with these a good bit, to be honest. You have a lot of luxury as far as the way that you can kill them in the kill phase. You're going to focus on Blizzard though, probably, and so definitely focus on getting improved Blizzard, Permafrost, that kind of things. But if you want to go Ice Shards and Shatter, and you also want to include, Flame Strike, Cone of Cold kind of killing, you definitely could do that as well. One thing as well I would recommend, one of the few farms where I would recommend this is to have Summon Water Elemental. The Water Elemental can help you get the freeze off on the front group of mobs if you're holding a blizzard or something, to try to stack up the mobs as much as possible. And so since the mobs get kind of scattered, since you're running through the entire instance at once, this might actually be really beneficial for this pool. One thing I wouldn't sacrifice though is Magic Absorption. Definitely want to keep up your mana as much as possible so that in the kill phase, you will have enough mana to take out the mobs, but feel free, play around with the spec as much as possible. This is probably what I would run. Sacrifice the 4% damage for that extra Cone of Cold damage and things like that. All right, everyone, that wraps up today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please subscribe and leave a like and a comment below to let me know so. And if you guys have any other ideas for any other videos, please let me know in the comments below. Also, check out the description for the Twitch where I do all this live, and also for my Twitter and Discord where you guys can be notified of any future updates and when I'm going to go live on stream. So I'll see you guys in the next video.